Ankr. That is the crypto I'm going to be getting into today, along with a market update. But before I do, as always, the spreadsheet is updated. These were the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel that I thought would crush it in this bull cycle. Most of them have, bar Grin. Grin's always sucked. If you'd invested $100 to each, you'd be up 21 grand, which is not bad given the significant correction that we are currently experiencing. Um, I'm in a few of these now, but the rest are put into cryptos that will do better in this bull cycle and will provide far, far, far better opportunities in terms of additional investments here and there. It's bang on and perfect for anyone that's brand new to crypto. So if you are brand new to crypto, check out Copy My Crypto. Right, let's look at the market, guys. God damn. So, correction continues pretty brutally at the moment. Yeah, massive, massive, massive dip last night, like 10%, double digit drops across the board, apart from Tether. Um, and it's really weird. It came off the news of Bitcoin being recovered by the US government from a ransom, um, well, basically a ransom recovery. Um, yeah, and the whole thing smells because if you actually look at it, they're saying that there's no talk about how um, the Bitcoin was retrieved. It wasn't retrieved from a centralized exchange. It looked like it was retrieved from private keys. How did the US government or get back the private keys? How did the DOJ recover private keys? Um, I was watching BBC today, like BBC News, just because it was on in the background, and even the commentator that was talking about this crypto, like the recovery of these funds, said, "Well, I don't understand why hackers wouldn't use Monero." And it was like the first thing any of us thought that were in the crypto space. Why the hell wouldn't you use Monero? You use Bitcoin? Um, stinks. Stinks. I'm not saying conspiracy, but how does the DOJ get hold of a private key? Sounds very odd. Either way, that news appeared to send the market tumbling. Um, and obviously it sort of undermines the whole Bitcoin's away from the government, right? But um, yeah, it was just very, 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 very odd. Um, and obviously we're still getting the China FUD and whatnot. And it's surprising the level of FUD that's sort of continuing, really, because if you look at it, the in the last few days we've had news about El Salvador, Paraguay, Brazil. Looking into Bitcoin as a currency to go alongside the fiat currency of the country or the countries, respectively. So it's very, very odd that because that piece of news of of countries getting in should have pushed the market in a really positive direction. So it's excuse me, interesting that the recovery came out the same time frame as a couple of countries coming in on Bitcoin. Just saying, screams conspiracy to me. Um, but a piece of news that people need to be alerted to really is the Ethereum balance on exchanges. It is at its lowest level in more than 2 years, as in people are buying ETH and they are moving it the hell off of exchanges. Now that is they're long-term investments. People aren't buying Ethereum and moving it for fun. If they've bought Ethereum and they're moving it off of the exchanges, that's because it's a long-term investment. And that is really positive in terms of Ethereum. Fundamentally, that's hugely positive because it reduces the supply that's available, and that should drive the price higher. Now, obviously, we're going through a fairly significant correction. At we are still continuously closing in on the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average crossing. That will be a problem if that happens. Um, but yeah, I mean the whole thing, it doesn't panic me. It screams market manipulation, um, and it's something to be aware of. Something to be aware of, guys. Right. I want to look at Ankr. Now, I've spoken about Ankr in the past, quite briefly in other videos. I'm quite fond of Ankr. Um, as a project, I think it's excellent. So, just before I get into like the details of the project, so Ankr's current price is about just shy of 9 cents. All-time high is around 19.5 cents, 19.43 cents. So it's about half the value, a little less than half the value. Now, Ankr was developed in Berkeley, um, and the two co-founders were one was an engineer at Amazon Web Services, and the other an investment banker at Morgan Stanley. Um, and what they've effectively done is they've created Ankr to to utilize blockchain technology via spare computing power, and that's the whole concept, right? Um, and what they've done is work through in terms of deploying nodes. Now, I really like this. I really, really like this. So you can have literally no technical skills whatsoever. Um, in fact, I'm pretty sure there's a tagline somewhere on the website. Um, yeah, it is definitely somewhere. I'm sure I saw it. Yeah. So, and you can set up a staking node. Um, there you go. So products, so staking nodes, right? Now, you can set it up immediately. You can get started for free, but pretty much all of them you have to pay something in terms of monthly costs, of course. There's been over 8,000 nodes deployed. There's tons and tons and tons. There's 40 projects more than that you can actually set up nodes for to stake on Ankr. Massive, massive selling points in terms of the leaders of projects being hugely bullish on Ankr and what they offer in terms of effectively securing the networks, because that's what state is, securing these networks. And we are going to continuously shift. I think over time we're going to see far less proof of work cryptos, beyond Bitcoin, but there'll be far less proof of work networks because fundamentally, um, staking networks are faster. Staking networks have less environmental impact, and that's a thing that people worry about. So a product like Ankr bodes really, really well in terms of what it can offer. And if you actually create an account with them, um, you can see the markets that you can create a node for. It's so smooth and so easy to do. It really, it legitimately requires zero technical skill. Obviously, if you can create a node and more people can join your node, you can earn significant money from that. But they've got Akala, Algorand, Relay, Binance Chain, Bitcoin. I mean, there are tons and tons and tons and tons. Um, and you can see the prices. So you're going to have to pay a price if you're a developer or if you're a stake or if you're setting up for staking or developing or da 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 da. But really, really cool. Really, really cool and simple and easy to use. Um, an Ankr I don't see as a short-term thing. I mean, yeah, it's probably 55% down right now, but there are other cryptos that are down far greater that were on better momentum. This has done about 1,000% returns since January. Um, so it was on really good momentum until we started hitting a bearish cycle or bear cycle. I don't know if we're a winner. I don't believe we're fully in a bear cycle, but Um, so in the short term, it might do well, but realistically, right now, we're still in this pattern that we have to get out of with crypto. We've got to get out of this bearish trajectory, and it's going to take it's going to take multiple pieces of good news and no more weird bad news to coincide. Like I said, in the last day or so, we've had a couple of countries looking at Bitcoin as a bloody as a currency to go in tandem with fiat currencies, and then we had Trump come out and say Bitcoin's a scam, and we had um, the Bitcoin recovery, which stinks to high heaven. um, but I see Ankr as a really long-term investment. Now I'm not in Ankr at the moment, but I may well be down the line. Um, I think there's still more of a correction to go before a potential recovery. Um, but yeah, what Ankr's offering with utilizing spare computing power or computer power that's idle has such enormous benefits because most people can't just set up a bloody node for staking. So Ankr allowing people to do that and potentially earn passively through that with minimal technical skill is massively beneficial to a market like this. And as more and more cryptos are developed and more and more and more and more of them will be um, proof of stake until other setups appear. We've seen um, some different ones come out lately, and the stag networks, and there's so many different things. But proof of stake seems to be where most cryptos are heading at the moment. And Ankr offers such benefit to that, such benefit to that. And like I say, as a long-term investment, you could see it being a top 20 crypto. Really could. Um, so it uses Ankr tokens to power its Web3 and cross-chain DeFi staking platform. According to Coinbase Global, staking is the process of why are they explaining? So Ankr's distributed computing network lets users lend their computer's capacity to secure the platform, power digital projects in exchange for Ankr tokens. And there's the benefit of holding Ankr. Um, yeah, I really, really, really like it. I really like it. And as a long-term hold, this could be very good because 5 years down the line, this could well be a top 10. I don't think it will hit it when the bull cycle starts getting back into momentum, which feels like it's going to be July now. I think we're going to have a few weeks of corrections and sideways. But um, in the next bull cycle, I think Ankr will be could certainly be a beast. Could certainly be a beast. Um, like I say, they've got a hell of a team behind them. You know, uh, so yeah, quite intrigued by Ankr. I keep looking into it and I keep looking back at it. I just feel like there's a better entry point than where it's at right now. um, Honestly, I think with upcoming crypto corrections, we could see Ankr dip down to the 5 cents level. That would be a pretty great entry point, um, particularly if the bull cycle is reinvigorated because you're looking at 4x from where it was previously. And as a long-term hold anyway, it's an absolute beast. Um, so yeah, quite intrigued, and continuously watching Ankr, as are about 116,000 people for good reason. For good reason. Um, but yeah, let's just hope we stop getting all this FUD and the good news starts outweighing the bad news in crypto. Although I don't see how, beyond the fact that Bitcoin was recovered by the government agencies, like that's bad for the criminals. If the government weren't behind it, and it feels like they were, because how do you get a private key? If the government weren't behind it, then that news should just be bad for the criminals. That should be scaring people off from crypto. Very, very odd. Yeah. That's it for me. There's my 2 cents. Hope you're all doing well. If you're brand new to crypto, check out Copy My Crypto. The coins I hold offer some seriously good opportunities, and a few of them are going to offer some very, very, very nice opportunities in the upcoming week. So you will want to check it out. Link is in the description. Have a good day. Bye bye.